and I need to make sure I work smart and hard every day, and I like to have diversity. The doTERRA compensation plan creates haves and have-nots, according to this person that left a comment on one of my videos. Hey, this is Lance McGowan with Essential Oils Me. I'm going to cover that comment and then provide the other side or a reasonable response to that and go from there. That's what I do. I try to help people have more perspective, and oftentimes it falls on deaf ears. And other times people are like, hey, that was cool, that was entertaining, that was educational, I appreciate it, you know, I can take a little nugget, you know what I'm saying, put it in my pocket. And then, you know, when a situation comes up, I'm like, oh, that's what I learned, that little knowledge nugget there. You can't use your false beliefs on me. Okay, so let's get right into what that comment said, and the link to the original video will be in the description below. This person said, yes, I do understand what you're saying. This was like a comment thread. I'm not going to give you the whole thing. This is just their part that I kind of took an excerpt out of. They said, in fact, you can watch my video that points out how Alyse Sedivy, who is at doTERRA's top of the pyramid, made it there. So yes, if you get in the pyramid early, your chances at the 1% are much greater. To me, it's all the same. 99.7% failure rates is the same as 99% in my opinion, because both statistics tell me to stay away. Okay, so this is an individual that's left a ton of comments on my YouTube channel. You know who you are, and it's always the same thing. You know, it's just like, nobody makes money, and you know, like only a small percent do, and you know, like I can't leave my job, or I can't retire and do MLM because I'm not gonna make any money, and you know, my reasonable response to all of that is there's root causes and reasons why success happens as well as why failure happens. Are you factoring that in? No, you're not. There's also the fact that many people work a full-time job and or part-time job or part-time jobs and are a part-time network marketer and cover their costs for their products that way, and that's okay. Alright? And you know, going back to the 5 things that determine success or arguably failure, you can't fail unless you quit or you run out of money, but anyways, you kind of have to quit if you run out of money. But anyways, it's more about like your commitment level than anything. But yeah, it's your skills, your goals, your effort, the quantity and quality of your network, and your lead generation system or strategy. Those 5 things combined with what I talked about earlier, again, having a full-time job and being a part-time network marketer, or having a part-time job and being a part-time network marketer. That's okay. That's what a lot of people do, and that's never mentioned in the conversation. It's just like, oh, and another thing that's not mentioned, and another thing, is what about being a product of the product first for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 years, and you'd be like, dang man, ain't nobody trying to be a product of the product, but how can you help others if you don't help yourself? In the airlines industry, you know, when they're doing the little demonstration, you know, you gotta put the oxygen mask on yourself before you put on another person, right? And so you want to take care of yourself so you can take care of other people, and that's the whole principle. And, you know, become a product of the product. There's main reasons why people are successful or fail, and success is not just monetary, which, again, that's probably the 4th thing, is they're so focused on the money, the money, the money, the money, and the outcome, the outcome, the outcome of the income disclosure statement, of the compensation plan, of who is making more, and the haves and the have-nots, and not looking at, you know, all the things I mentioned, where it's also not just financial, but it's your health, it's your relationships, you know, it's a lot of stuff, and so the bigger picture is important. One could say, well, Lance, all that stuff's out of scope. But all that stuff is still affected by our thoughts, words, and actions, and we still need to take ownership and take responsibility for those, regardless of the negative or bad feelings we have associated with our inadequacies or maturity gaps or, you know, improvement opportunities, weaknesses, whatever you want to call them, right? Life is not just about pushing the happy button all the time and trying to get a little candy bar out of it. Okay, like it's about dealing with our junk and trying to grow as a person, and hopefully having people that you surround yourself with that knock the rough edges off of you, like iron sharpening iron, you know that? And we're taking the logs in our own eyes so we can see the speck in someone else's, so we can see clearly what's going on in other situations, instead of, you know, hitting people with the logs on our own eyes and be like, you're the problem, and you're the problem, and you're the, you know, that's not reasonable, and that's not a mature thing to do, and it's certainly not a way to have an intelligent discussion. And this individual, although they present outcomes and facts, very one-sided, very one-sided, and it's because they've worked in the corporate world. I don't know their exact position, but it wasn't in something that, you know, was more self-employment or entrepreneurial. It was more employee mindset based, and so, you know, not a judge zone here, I'm not judging them, but at the same time, when you have the blinders on in a certain realm, you tend not to look at other things objectively. And because I worked for PepsiCo for 7 years as a transportation analyst, as a transportation supervisor, as a warehouse supervisor, I saw the corporate world from a headquarter and field-based standpoint. I know what that 9 to 5 cubicle life like, that 9 to 5 cubicle life is like, and I also know what the walking around in an operations-based, hot, sweaty, you know, warehouse or sometimes nice air-conditioned office is like. Okay, so, and you know, hopping in trucks or hopping in things like, I know what that's like. I also know what it's like to work from home, which is what I do now, and I love it. And you know, being able to help people in many different ways, online, locally, all that stuff. So, you know, I have, I would say, credibility, whether you will admit that or not, from a corporate standpoint, field-based standpoint, as well as a self-employment or entrepreneurial standpoint. So employee and entrepreneurial, I see both, and there's pros and cons of both, if I'm being objective, if I'm being reasonable, and I chose the life that I have now because I get to set my own hours, be my own boss, work from home, and there's no glass ceiling or politics I have to go through. It's just, if I don't work, I don't eat, and I need to make sure I work smart and hard every day. And I like to have diversified income streams because it helps when things may not be where they're at for the month due to seasonality or due to market conditions or due to legal regulations or due to any number of things. Okay, so that is what I like to do, and that's how it works, and I love the life I live now. It's amazing. It's just about growing and sharing that with other people at this point, pretty much. Alright, well that concludes today's video. Thank you so much for watching. Make sure to click the like button if you did. It helps this video get shared to more people. Speaking of sharing, sharing is caring. Share this video with somebody that would benefit from it, and most importantly, check out the links in the description below so you can get your learn on like I did, and maybe have a little response for yourself and leave it in the comment section. And I'll see you in the next video.